Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the video. It has been quite a long time and I do apologise for that. I did want to get the next video out before Christmas, but of course I was waiting for a few of the updates that we're going to have. As you can see, some of the updates that have come out just this year, so this side of my Christmas holidays. We've got the shooter update for 1.15. And that's brought in archery support, which is absolutely fantastic, and I have played through with a demo of it and it runs really well. It's quite nice to see. Along with the archery, it's also added in multiple shot, so you can actually shoot several projectiles in once, but you can also do charge shot, so you can have a build-up shot, which comes in particularly well with the archery, but when you're doing spells and things like that, so with our spell staff, we've got to be able to utilise that power to charge up the shot and make more powerful spells come out, which is absolutely fantastic. There's also a couple of little polish up bits with the animations too, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'll be showing you guys in this video how to update to 1.15, and then I'll also be adding in another asset which I was also waiting for the integration, which was Emerald AI 2.0. So Emerald AI has been around for a long time. They've just recently upgraded to 2.0 version, and it has added in some pretty cool stuff. It makes it actually quite easy to add in the NPCs. We were using the built-in ones with invector, and that was coming out alright. But they are currently working on rejigging their AI because there was some performance issues when you have more than a handful of the AI on the screen. Emerald AI has done the same thing. They were also increasing their performance stuff. We're still waiting on the invector one to come through. They're working hard on it. So in the meantime, I wanted to use this one here because it actually gives me the ability to create ranged AI. So we can have AI that actually shoot at us, which is fantastic for what we need. So this one here, they've actually just released their invector third-person controller integration. So now we actually have the integration. We can make them interact with the player. So I'll be going over installing that and doing the integration as well. Other thing that I wanted to bring up too, really disappointed. I've received this email just this week from YouTube. Saying that they're making changes to the YouTube partner program now. The partner program is just the thing where you can monetize your videos. If you've earned over a certain amount of views, they allow you to monetize videos. I don't really care so much about the monetization. I've had videos that are monetized before and I've made maybe fractions of a cent in the past. I don't really get that many views and that doesn't really bother me. I've only got however many people on my channel. I'm not really looking for huge subscriptions. I'm just looking to put up some of the content up there for people to work on their video games. The problem is though, they're changing the system now so that you can't monetize your videos unless you've had over 1,000 people subscribe to your channel and a constant view of 10,000 hours or something like that, or some sort of ridiculously high amount of viewing hours for the month. Which just isn't going to work for me, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are also going to miss out because they're just up and coming, or anyone who wants to try out. They're saying it's here because it needs to prevent all the bad actors and spam accounts and things like that. Honestly, I've had enough of YouTube. The only reason I'm using it is because it's so easy to upload things there. You can just quickly drop it in and it'll put it up there, and because it's so widespread and wide known, it's good for getting exposure. But I've had all sorts of issues with them, from false copyright claims made against my videos, all sorts of things like that. I had one where I was doing a demo reel for special effects and I used a background noise off a commercial product that I'd purchased, and it was just wind blowing in like a wind tunnel effect, and I had a copyright claim from some Swedish metal band saying that was their sound. And even though I put up the thing saying, no, this is where I got it from, here's the licensing for it, here's everything for it, YouTube still voted in favour of the Swedish metal band. Now when I actually compared the two videos, there was absolutely nothing in there. Like, you must have had some sort of special computer algorithm to silence whatever else was in the music to hear that backing track, in order to confirm that it was 100% the same sound file. I even sent them an example of the sound file that I was using, and as I said, I sent all the licensing for it, but YouTube still decided to vote in their favour, and then they monetized my video which in the end I just ended up removing the audio from the video, and I think I removed the video altogether, although it might still be up there. I think if you have a look through my back catalogue, I don't suggest you do, but if you do find it, yeah, you'll see that I've changed the thing there to say that this is what's going on and this is ridiculous. And it's not the first time it's happened. Every time I get those things coming up on those minor infractions, they tell me, oh, you're not going to be punished for this, but you know, you will have to change the audio. I've just deleted the video because it's not fucking worth the time. So excuse my language. I mean, I'm sure I've said poor language before, but anyway, as I said, fed up with YouTube. I'm likely going to actually start moving my content over to Vimeo. I do have my own website. I'm not going to put it up here yet because I haven't finished the construction of it. Yeah, I am going to be making a website for the Encardia Apogee, which is the name of the Apogee that I'm building, and for the Lorand and for a few of my other projects as well. So all the content will be displayed through there, but it will be linked through to a Vimeo account, which I'll set up soon. Anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that that was going on. So what we'll do now is we'll move across into updating the shooter template to 1.1.5. Okay, so let's get started. You'll see here that I've actually got a few new things, or a few differences from where the project was at the previous video. I've actually restarted the project. I've got a new SSD and I've moved the project across onto there, but I've also basically just started a whole new one. I didn't really lose much in there. I've copied across all the assets, but the reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to actually import it. I moved on to 2017.1, which is one of the new Unities that come out later last year. I was using 5.6.3 or 5.6.4 in the previous videos because it was a bit more stable. I have had a few times where this Unity will crash in this mode, and it certainly crashes a lot more times in 2017.3. Here 2018 is coming up soon, but for the most part a lot of the assets that I use are using 2017.1 or up to 0.3 as part of their native runs. So the Quest add-on itself, that was previously 5.6.3 or 5.6.4, it has now been updated to the point where you can actually use it in 2017.1. It's been tested on there and it works fine. So yeah, so I've moved across to this now. It pretty much changes a few things. Some of the programs that I'm using, you need to actually re-download the assets for this particular version, so you'll need to log in to 2017.1 or above to get the proper version. There's just a different thing that Unity does with some of the shaders and some of the lighting. As I said, it's still a little bit unstable, so we might end up getting some crashes at some time, and that's just something we'll have to deal with. Usually you're alright as long as you keep saving your workspace. Yeah, so you keep saving all your files, save the project, save the scenes, you should do alright. And as you can see here, we'll run this through. One of the problems that I had, you can see I've actually got Vegetation Studio running on this as well, so you can see I've got plenty of trees coming through and it's all running nice and smooth. Hopefully this transition has gone alright. I don't know how my recording will work. Anyway, so yeah, I've put on the low poly, and if you remember in one of the old videos I had a problem with objects being ghosted behind the low poly. It's still doing that, but I've found that if you actually turn off all the lights in the scene, right now I'm using the lighting box to do the gamma and linear and all that sort of jazz, which I'll go into in another time, just to keep it so it's bright enough you can see all the different edges, but it has taken away that ghosting effect, so that's something to do with the shader itself. I will hopefully look into that in the future. Yeah, you can see I've got a nice little tower there going on. I'll have a look at that into the future and see if I can find out what's going on. Anyway, I like quite the look at this. It seems to be fine. I don't really have any special effects that are going on at the moment that could really utilise lighting. There are a couple in there that I'm going to put in, so yeah, I'll look into that. Anyway, so the point of this video is that we're going to show you how to update to 1.1.5 for invector Apogee. So let's do that one first. I'm going to go here. I'm just going to import the package over the top of the previous one. Alright, so you need to navigate to where you've saved the update. If you've got it off the Selfie store, or if you've actually got it from the Unity store, you can just get it straight in from the asset page. So you're just going to open that up. I'm actually just going to copy it over the top. If you haven't actually updated from one of the earlier ones, I don't believe you need to wipe anything. Should work as it is, but we're just going to bring that in now. We're going to see what we get. We've already got a couple of errors down there just for the lighting box and some of the stuff I'm doing, but it's not breaking. Anyway, we'll open that. Now, because we are actually going over the top of certain things like the RPG pack, we're going to need to bring those back in as well. So any of the extra stuff that you've got modified over the top of the basic controller or any of the add-ons, you will need the latest version of that add-on to come through. I'm going to get rid of those because I don't need to import over the top of those. This is like we did the last time when we were updating. We went through just make sure that everything's the way it should be. Now, we have a look here. Apparently these are not right. It could just be that I didn't actually... No, it says that they're replacing this is new, it's changed. File exists but with different GUID will override existing asset, maybe undesired. That's alright, we can leave that. This one. Locomotion has brought in a new idle animation by the looks. Obviously all the VBots are here, this is all new. This is all new, and I'm going to actually leave it in because this is part of the new, the new retargeting for the locomotion. So they did do some upgrades to the way the locomotion works, including a sort of an angled walk when it's turning a corner rather than the straight turn. Which means, yeah, this is all new, so it's asking for the VBot again. We don't actually need the VBot. I'm going to get rid of that because I wasn't using them. Yeah, so that's saying it's all new. So the reason it's saying it's new is because I didn't actually import those when I imported to this project. So new assets, that'll also be the same, so that's fine. Looks like there's some new textures coming in. That's okay, we can get those. Yep, see the version 3 controller, so that's the new version that's come through, and there's a new upper body mask. Or at least it's changed, might not be new. The demo scenes, again, I didn't need to bring in any of those, so I've not brought them in, just saving up some of the space of stuff that I don't really need. Looks like, yeah, the spike floor is new or has changed. Same with these prefab controllers. They're probably not going to work though because I don't have the actual VBot, and they'll be based off the VBot. Oh, excuse me. So it's changed stuff to the third-person cameras. The generic action and the ladder action look like it's changed. Yeah, the animated controller. So a lot of the heavy or the main scripts, and then yeah, so layer manager, all that sort of stuff. So we want to let that change. I think we're pretty happy with everything else. So yeah, it's going to bring in. Yeah, a few of these things, like the grenade rifle's obviously going to be new, and that's going to be good. One of the things we need to search for is, here we go, arrow and the bow. So yep, the archery system, that's a new one that's going to be coming in, so all that will be new, and that will be cool. So we're going to import that now. Just going to go with that. I'm sure if there's anything on there extra, I can probably get rid of it later. But for now, just let it work through. We'll let it compile, and we'll see what kind of errors we get. We can't bring up anything else, so that's fine. Nope. Okay, so that's being done. So we're just going to go over the console and have a look at what we got. Again, yeah, lighting box, no problems. Scripts of compilation, API. After these errors, yeah, continue, that's on. Shader errors, again, that's another one. Okay, so now the loot table. Yeah, so we've obviously gone in and written over the top of the RPG pack stuff. Not going to change that just yet because yeah, get attribute type. Yeah, there's actually a new update from the RPG add-on anyway. So yeah, so all that's fine. We're just going to clear out those, and as you can see, yeah, it's still going to come up with those errors. So we're going to go here now. We're going to again import another package, and this one's actually going to be 132F. I believe that's the latest one that's come out for the RPG pack. So we're going to open that one up next. Just going to click click open, and we're going to let that go over the top. Yeah, I'm just going to let everything come in for this one. Everything that's automatically on there, so we'll bring in some demo scenes, and there probably will be a couple of missing VBots or something in there. So now we go to the pack here. As you can see, we've got the editor, so we've already put that in place, which is good. I'm just going to clear that. Again, we need the weighted drop type, weighted drop rate. Oops, where are we? Inventory, item enums. There we go. Open enums editor. So yeah, we're just going to have to put those back again. Whoa, not 47, I just want a 7. So we'll change this one. And we forgot to capitalise the P. And we're just going to refresh items. I think there might have been another one. Did I have other ones in there before for the durability? I think I did. I'm just going to ignore that for now though. We'll see how we go with that. And there we go. So we've just cleaned up all those problems with the scripts. So that's good. That looks like it's come through. Oh, hang on. I believe that was just a lighting box. As you can see with my lighting box 2, it wants a light, but it doesn't have one, and I don't really care. That's fine. So yeah, again, it's just going to keep checking for that. I don't know why it keeps wanting to pop that up, but now you can see, yep, we're still working fine. I haven't changed the control yet, so it's still using the old locomotion. Which if I close this out, let us have a look. I'm just using a basic controller for this one at the moment. I don't have the extra stuff on it, but we can change that. Locomotion 2, we'll change that to V3, and we'll just have a look at how that affects it. So now you can see I'm leaning. So yeah, part of the new one, as I'm running along, you'll get a slight bit of a lean when you turn. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Groovy. Alright, so that is how you update to 1.15. So now that's one part. Again, I'm just getting a lot of problems with the lighting box, but that's just because it's missing bits. Anyway, now what we need to do next is bring in 2.0 for Emerald AI. Now I've already brought it into the project. You can obviously go to Window, where is it? Asset Store. And I'll just show you to say you can see that it's the same one. Just type in Emerald AI, and here you go. It's already in the featured list. That's cool. So it has been updated to 2, and it's just recently, 2017 plus exclamation mark, which I'd assume means 1. It's just a typo. 2.0.2. That's the latest one. It's just come out the past just earlier this week, and it has come out as well with the integration stuff. So once you import that into the project, I've already imported it here, I believe. Actually, you know what? I'm going to import just because I'm not sure whether I've got the latest 2. I should do, because it looks like I've done it here. So I'm just going to, excuse me. Yep, so I've taken out the demo stuff, so I'm just going to remove the demo. Yep, so I've brought it in without any of the... Oh, but it looks like it's going to need some of that stuff. One of the things that you do need to have is this here, the third-person combat player, combat demo player, and player UI. I had some problems when I took it out. Yeah, because it was I needed these demo player scripts to come through, or it was one of these scripts, player weapon, player health. Maybe it's just these scripts here that I had problems with. Anyway, I brought them in, and it told me I needed those other ones, so I'm just going to cancel that because it looks like I've got the latest version. So anyway, import that into your project. I don't believe you'll get any console errors. It come in pretty smoothly. There's no problems. You just have to adjust some of the layers, which we'll look at when we well, which we'll look at now because we're going to start integrating it. So if you've bought the product, you'll get access to the tutorial page, and you can also look at their forum thread on the Unity forums, and it should give you access to the tutorials on the Google Drive. So you've got setting up Emerald AI with Invector third-person controller. So it says here, open up any of the included Invector demos. If you don't already have an Emerald AI agent, you can go to the line of sight, Emerald, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So just basically saying, get an AI character and set it near the player. So we're going to do that first, and that's just to do a test. I don't think I brought in any of the example ones, so I'm actually going to just make a whole new one, which should be fun. So what we're going to do now is we're going to find, we're going to go to our art folder, we're going to find a character that I want to put in on the thing. So fantasy adventure, polygon adventure, no, fantasy characters, that's what we want. So we're going to go to the prefabs. Oh, okay. I've only just brought in that one character then, I haven't actually brought in the full pack. Alright. So, sorry, when I copied it over, I only copied bits and pieces that I need. So we're going to come in here with we want White Knight or Viking. Yeah, we'll get the Viking as our bad guy. So we're just going to put him there. We're going to make sure that he's got everything he needs to have. Yeah, he looks like he's doing fine. So we'll minimize that. Now we're going to go to Window, Emerald AI, set up the manager. So this is how you set up a new AI character. So we want our AI object. Well, we wanted to pick the Viking. So we're going to drop him in there. Now his behavior is passive. We're going to put him as aggressive. That's fine. Confidence is coward. And the water type dynamic, we'll leave that. Auto optimize, set up that yes. Yeah, you want to do that now. So we will create the animator controller. So now we need to pick where we're going to actually drop this. So what I'm going to do is, do I have my modified? No, I don't have the modified folder. So we're just going to make a new folder now. I'm going to call it new. I'm going to go AI. So this is where I'm going to put all the AI stuff. So I'm just going to go test AI1, and that's where we're going to save it in that folder now. So we need to set up all the animations. I'm going to leave those blank for the moment because we'll lose all reference you've entered into the animation clips below. Make sure you select set up AI before closing if you like to change this to be applied. So these are all blank, which means you're not going to have any animations, but I'm going to be able to put them in later. Right now I just want to be able to get through the code changes that you need to do. So I'm just going to set up the AI. Yep, set up. Now here's the thing, actually I should have pointed this out before. So let me just close that now because we don't need that. That has actually changed this prefab in the folder. So if we go to our inspector and we bring this up, you can see now this actual prefab down here has that on it, and when we click on the other ones you can see it's actually just what came with it. So that's an issue. It's going to modify the prefab that you had there. So if that's your only copy of the prefab, you don't really want to do that. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to I can't cut it from there, can I? So we'll bring it here and we're going to find our AI folder. Obviously it's at the top, and we're just going to drag it into there. So we're actually going to take it out of that Polygon Adventure folder and we're going to bring it into here. Yeah, so as I said, what you might want to do is actually, like I did before, I dragged it into the scene. You can change the name of it and then drag it into the AI folder as a whole new prefab, and then use that when you're using the setup manager. So yeah, we drag that on. I've obviously just recorded right over the top of that. I can always re-import it from the original package and come out with a fresh, just the character, sorry, just the model. But for now this is fine because I'm not really going to be using it for anything else. So anyway, let's get that. Let's find, obviously he's here. So this is where our player character is starting. I'm going to bring the Viking and I'm just going to place him there. Now he might not run properly yet because I don't actually have a nav mesh, so we might get some issues there. Just clear that out, that's fine. Now let's find our character. Yep, so that's all the settings. So we just brought him in, so let's cut back to this now. placed it into your domain scene, so it's more proportionate to the player, doesn't matter about that. Apply the enemy tag and enemy layer to your AI game object. So we need to make sure that it's got the right tags on it. So at the moment it's untagged and default. We want to tag that as enemy, so we just need to find, here it is, enemy, and enemy for the layers. Now it says here it's going to ask us to change children of this object only. When you're asked to set layer to all child objects, set no this object only. This does not mean that your AI is an enemy, it's just a simple tag layer that invector recognizes as a target object. So you can actually change that in invector as well, but for now we're just going to go with a standard integration. So we want that to be no this object only. So we go no this object only, and that just makes it this top level here. Everything else will be left as untagged and default. So that's because when you've got sub things in there, like if you've got ragdoll and stuff on it, it's not going to count that as the layer and just do a whole heap of checks. It only is to check that top layer where the Emerald AI script is. Now that we've got that, that's fine. So go to detection and tags tab, and then to tag options, set the Emerald Unity tag to enemy and the layer 1 to enemy. Okay, so we need to go to this tab here, detection and tags, and then it says in the tag options, I believe. Yep, tag options, we need to set layer 1 to enemy. So number of layers, we want 2, and we want that to be enemy. Yep, Emerald Unity tag to enemy. So we need that to say enemy. So yeah, so the Emerald Unity tag needs to learn enemy, because enemy is going to be the layer that we are using, or sorry, the tag that we are using to tag NPCs. You can call it something else, you can call it NPCs, or yeah, I think that's probably the better way, or just use to define other Emerald. This is the tag that was created using Unity's tag pull down at the top of the game object. Yeah, so you can put that as NPCs or just characters. You can call it whatever you want. For the moment we've called it enemy because that's what we're using for tags. For everything else, now set the number of layers to 2 so it can detect on 2 different layers, and we've got enemy. We might have to send that to player as well, I believe. So we're going to leave that there. We don't need to change the faction just yet. So yeah, so on the description here it's got the second layer automatically as player. The reason why it won't it might be different on yours is because depending on what you've pulled in from invector, it's set the tags up in a certain way that's often different to the way Emerald AI is built in. So it's just instantly drawn those 2 layers from the first couple on the tag list. But obviously we want that to be enemy and player, so we just write them in manually. That's fine. Now it says we need our Emerald AI agents to be able to damage the invector TPC player. To do this, search for Emerald AI script in the project tab and double click to open it. Okay, so going down here to the project tab, we want Emerald AI, and we've got the script, so we're just going to double click that. It's going to open up in Mono Develop, and now it's asking us to Control F, and we want to find damage player. So we need to find the section that's, that allows us to damage player. Here it is. So it should be around line 2776, so that's not actually the first time that it comes up. So this is the one we want here, sorry. Yeah, so public void damage player. So that's actually the what do they call it again? Function. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I was after. Alright, so select everything within the damage player function and replace it with the code below. So this will allow the AI to damage to play when needed. So we need to copy this from the web page or the document, and now we need to replace everything under here, which I believe is this. There we go. So now we've done that. Now we're just going to save that, and that's going to tell us if we come up with any extra errors. Oh, okay, what have we copied in that we shouldn't have copied in? Alright, what have we made a mistake with here? Oh, okay, so I think we're actually just missing a thing. Alright, apologies everyone. So as you can see, if I click here, it doesn't know where the end part is, and this one only goes up to here, so we are just missing a bracket. Put that in, and now we should be fine. Save, and then we come back here. Oh, give it a second to recompile. There we go, and that's fixed that up. Alright, back to back to here. So we've done that, save the Emerald script I edited by controller, so going file save. Your AI should now be able to damage your invector TPC player to test this, test our demo scene. Yep, we're not going to be doing any of that. See the play before it will start. If for some reason it's not working, go through steps 1 to 7. Yep, cool. Ranged. If you do not have the shooter template invector, you can skip the step to step 13. Okay, so this tutorial here is for the range, because again I'm using the 1.1.5 or the 2.2.5 if it's the shooter. Yeah, I'm using the shooter from my project, so we can do the magic spell stuffs and things like that. So yeah, if you don't want to, you can skip to a little bit later in the film. I'll put down the timings and that in the notes field anyway, so you can figure it out from there. Anyway, ranged. So we need to figure out how to get them to work with the range thing. So we need to find projectile control. So we go back down here, we need to find V projectile control, and now we're going to open up this one. So we go back to monodevelop, and we need to do the same thing, except this time we're looking for onCastCollider.invoke. So if we go Control F, and we want to go Control V, here we go. So we've now found a search for the line info. This will take you to the portion of the script that will allow you to send damage to a targeted object when using ranged attacks, and the following code underneath on cast collider portion of the script. So we're going to Control C that, and as you can see here, it's telling us to find that line, put in an extra part, and then paste. Okay, cool, we can do that. So here it is here. Let's find the second call of it. No, that's fine. So it's definitely this first call. And yep, so then underneath it will be damage, max value damage. Yep, so we need to put, oh, excuse me, and enter in there, put in another space just because we can, and we're going to post that in there. We're going to go file, save, Control S and save. Alright, cool, so that's now done. So that's just this part there that we need to change for the script. So we can close those. So melee, in order for your invector player to damage Emerald AI agents with this, we need a few lines of code for some of the invector scripts. So we need to find the V melee manager now, not melee. Nobody knows how to say that except for people that actually know. Oh, again, yep, so we've opened it up in, well, we were supposed to, why is that not opened up? Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, now this time we are looking for onDamageHit.invoke. onDamageHit.invoke, and that's the only time that it calls, that's fine. Yep. So this tells it what to do. So we just need to post it in, paste it in after that. Control V. Save that one. Save that, and then that's it. So that should be everything that we need to do for getting it to work right. So we're going to click here. Yep, don't worry about that because that's just Unity stuff. So there we go. Now we've edited all the different bits and pieces, and we now have enough to pass the damage from the NPC to the player, and from the player to the NPC. At the moment we don't actually have the player doing any damage. What we can do though is we'll get rid of this, and let's go invector. We'll create a melee controller now. Yeah, I'll just do that. And then we'll type in sorcerer. Go, animator controller, we want to put in combat v3, and the camera list, we just need combat, going to create. Now that's going to obviously be at the 0 point, so we don't want that. Where's old mate gone? He's all the way over here. Jeez. Oops, it's not the axis I wanted to move it on. This one's more like it. Let's prop it up. No, it's not quite there yet. Yeah, we can bring him. And he's coming a little bit closer. Oh, now he's way up in the air. What I could have done was actually just copied the the transform for the previous one before I did that, but that's fine. Nobody's paying attention. Alright, so now we're just going to play that just to make sure that you can run around in the scene properly. Yep, he's all good. And of course our little friend's dancing down in the tree because there's nothing telling him where to go properly, but that's fine. Oh wow, it's actually already put in the combat stuff. Let me have a look. Can I hit escape? That's fantastic, it's already got the melee manager on. So what we want to do is set that to that. Now, this will probably come up with a thing saying, yep, there's no nav mesh. I'm going to bake a nav mesh now for this terrain. I didn't realise there wasn't one. If I go to navigation, yeah, there wasn't one. Okay. Let's have a look at my citadel. Was everything here set to static? Yes, change children. Everything's going to be static. Not exactly walkable, but we'll figure it out. That's also static. So let's go navigation. This shouldn't take us too long. Let's go to bake. We'll bake that. Okay, cool. So now that we've baked the nav mesh, it took a couple of minutes there because it is one of the bigger terrains. I did make it with TC2. Anyway, so now we've got that up, so our little AI should be able to walk around. Also filled out his animations with some of the animations that were available in the invector kit. I'll show you how to do that at another time. We'll go through that. As you can see, there's a couple of problems here. I'll have to fiddle around with them. Should be okay to go though. So at the moment, he should be running through. So let's just give that a quick test and see how things go. Oh, yeah. So as you can see, one of the turning animations isn't any good, and it looks like he's stuck in it now because of that. Oh, looks like he's tried to hurt me. So he doesn't have an attack animation yet, so that's causing a little bit of grief, but he's certainly attacking me. You can see he's passing damage to me. Hopefully I'm passing damage to him. Yes, and there you go. So now we've got AI that can attack me, and I can attack back. Again, I have to put on the animations for him. He was ducking into the ground there because it's basically Unity's way of saying there's no animation on this file. He just goes to this weird sort of semi-fetal position that's on the 0 axis. It's sort of, it does look a little bit funny. So yeah, the benefit of that is that these guys actually have ranged attacks, so you can set them up. I have done it in another video. I think if you have a look, you can see some of the videos that I've got where I'm playing with Emerald AI, and I've got some of the pirate gunners that run around and shoot. Take a look at those. I'll be working on a new video that'll show you how to handle Emerald AI shortly. Anyway, so that looks like it. So we've now got the archery added in the new shooter update, and we also have Emerald AI integrated and passing damage between the player and the AI. With that, we've got so the base game is there. We've got the RPG add-on. We are pretty much ready to now finish crafting our world and then start filling in the story and yeah, getting things going. So thanks for tuning into this one here. Sorry it took a little while to get out there. Hopefully this will help you guys out if you are using Emerald AI especially, or if you're just updating to the shooter. Yeah, hopefully this has helped you, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll have another video where we start looking at working with that AI and also working with some of the base AI, and yeah, I'll set up this town at the top here that I'm going to be using. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.